What's up, St. Louis? It's your host, Luke Farrell of the STL Bucket List Show. The STL Bucket List Show is driven by Bomarito Automotive Group. Bomarito is Missouri's #1 car dealership with over 20 locations, so I guarantee that there's one in your neighborhood. Since the 1970s, Bomarito has sold over 1 million cars, and John and the entire team made us feel completely comfortable when we picked up our new vehicle recently for the family. So I can't thank the Bomarito team enough for driving this episode forward, and enjoy the show.
If you want to hear about St. Louis, tune into the Bucket List Show weekly. Hear what Marissa and Luke say. It drops every Wednesday. Got a dope new guest every single week. Buckle up for the ride. Who's it gonna be? Who's on the show today? They rep St. Louis. What to do in the loo on a late night, or maybe what to do on a date night. Yeah, Bucket List has you covered. They know what's going on. What's going on? They'll give you, hey, 18 different things to do, or 19 if you need one more to choose. Yeah, this city is a place we call home. A place we call home. Yeah.
What's up, St. Louis? I'm your host, Luke Farrell of the STL Bucket List Show. We're back with episode 98, straight into the new year of 2024. I can't thank you guys enough for our best year yet in 2023 and all the people and places and events that we celebrated in St. Louis and surrounding areas. I want to shout out some of our friends that have supported the show. My wife, she's not here today. We're getting really close to baby. We're about 8.5 months pregnant. Baby's going to be coming any day now. So she's I'm filling in for her today. So got to shout out my friends at Four Hands, always keeping me not thirsty on the episodes. And then the Regional Arts Commission of St. Louis has been a huge supporter of the show. They support art in St. Louis. And if you guys didn't know, more people travel to St. Louis, the St. Louis area for arts and art organizations than sports. And I know a lot of people think, St. Louis is a sports town, but we're also an arts city as well. So we got a very special guest on the episode today. We're heading out east for this episode. We're going across the river. We got Cory Jobe, the president and CEO of Great Rivers and Routes. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, baby. It's been a busy year for you guys as well. But before I get into all the incredible things that you guys are doing, I want to learn a little bit more about you, Cory. So give us a little bit of background on kind of what led you to Great Rivers and Routes and kind of stuff that you did growing up and whatnot.
Sure. So I'm from southeastern Illinois. My hometown is Robinson, Illinois. So my claim to fame, if you ever had a Heath candy bar.
Yeah.
Okay. It was born and raised and made from
yours.
the Heath family. No, I wish it was mine. I probably wouldn't be sitting here today. I'd probably be on a beach somewhere. Yeah. And now the Hershey company owns it. But I grew up there, but went to the University of Illinois for college, and then right out of college, I got a job in state government. It was a fluke. I was in a meeting one day and met some folks with the Illinois State Treasurer's Office, and a week later I was offered a job. And so my background is finance and economic development. A funny way how I get into tourism marketing and promotion, but spent 23 years in state government, lived in Springfield, Illinois, the state capital. My last 4.5 years, I got the opportunity to be the director of the Illinois Office of Tourism, and the governor at the time wanted somebody who understood numbers and finance, and I could surround myself with the best marketing people wherever throughout the country. So I spent 4.5 years doing that, and I left state government and then became the chief marketing officer at Navy Pier in Chicago, which is the most visited tourism attraction in the Midwest. And then the pandemic happened, and I had been visiting Southwest Illinois since the early 90s, especially Grafton. And during my time as state travel director, tourism director, I would always visit this area. And the opportunity came about and moved here in 2020, in November of 2020. Wow. I got married in October of 2020.
Congratulations.
Started a new job in November of 2020 and been here ever since. So, I came about destination marketing and branding and development a very different way. And I think a lot of times we do. Also, for 8 years when I was in Springfield, I was on the city council. I was an elected alderman for the 6th Ward in the city of Springfield. So I still get to deal in politics and compromising and painting a vision. We have 39 communities in our destination and making up 6 counties. So been here 3 years now and love it.
Yeah, that's you had an interesting journey to getting where you're at, but I think all those experiences help you succeed in what you're doing now because you're still working with people, you're still marketing, you're still selling, not selling a vision, you're painting a vision.
Right.
Selling, same thing, in some cases, but really what you guys are doing, and I'm just looking at it from afar. I mean, I'm a person that goes there. I used to take the ferry as a kid from St. Charles right over to Grafton, and all of a lot of parties end up out there. A lot of 21st birthdays over there at Fast Eddie's and different places around there. But one of my favorite things is just going with my wife and going to pick apples at one of the Eckerts. And or the new thing we've been into is the ski lift.
Oh yeah, the Sky Tour.
That is amazing.
It's the first, Aries Resort is a family-owned company.
Yeah.
You've got the Lortons who own Aries Resort, and then you got the Allens who have the loading dock. They're probably the two most successful out of many, but somewhat the pioneers. Aries Resort purchased 230 acres up on the bluffs, started with one little winery, and now opened the first zip line in Illinois, opened the first aerial chairlift for the Sky Tour in Illinois, and now the first gravity-fed alpine coaster in the Midwest.
Yeah.
And J.D. Lorton, who's the son, is actually the chairman of my board of Great Rivers and Routes. And, they have a vision. They're very passionate about customer service. And obviously Grafton is 100% reliable on a tourism economy. I think there's nearly 700 people that reside in Grafton, but on any given weekend it can explode to thousands.
Yeah.
And it's pretty unique what's happened. Obviously they've had many setbacks because of the floods. There's no levee that protects the city from the river. That's a great thing when there's no flood, but then you suffer the consequences. But, when you're sitting at the loading dock in the summer and drinking one of those frozen drinks and look out onto that river and up north on the bluffs, you don't realize you're in Illinois, let alone the Midwest. It's pretty unique.
I agree with that, and I think it's a huge bucket list spot for anyone in the St. Louis area, and I think that's one of the best parts about it is, you get to go out there and you get to disconnect in your own city. It's a 30-minute drive from really anywhere in St. Louis, and being able to support those family-owned businesses because those people are taking chances and taking risks to build those businesses out there to bring people together. So I kind of want to talk about Great Rivers and Routes a little bit, just for the people. I've been learning a lot about you guys over the last about 6 months now, but for the people that are listening that might not have ever heard of you guys, what do you guys do? Who do you serve? Tell us kind of your mission statement and stuff like that.
So we serve 6 counties. So we serve all of Madison County, Montgomery, Macoupin, Greene, Jersey, and Calhoun counties. And then we also represent the city of East St. Louis and St. Clair County. So we have 39 communities, 6 counties. We're a destination marketing management organization. And really what that means is it's our job to partner with all those communities as a regional destination to drive travel to and throughout Southwest Illinois. We've got some great communities from historic Route 66 products. So we literally have the last 100 miles of Route 66 in Illinois from Verdon all the way to the Chain of Rocks Bridge. And Route 66 is going to be turning 100 years old in 2026. So it's a big time to be promoting Route 66, not only in America, but around the world. And then we also have the Great River Road. And on top of that, the 33-mile stretch from Hartford, Illinois to Pere Marquette State Park is another National Scenic Byway, and that's the meeting of the Great Rivers National Scenic Byway. And that's because that's where the 3 rivers, the confluence of the Illinois, Missouri, and Mississippi. And so we got a lot of great outdoor products. So our job is to drive travel from a 50-mile radius to and throughout Southwest Illinois. And we do that through a variety of ways. Through paid advertising efforts, through unique events and festivals, to public relations efforts with our PR agency. We attend a lot of sales shows. So we have a sports sales team. We have a leisure, domestic sales team. We have an international sales team. And we drive a lot of travel through youth sports, motor coach, and international travel.
Yeah, that's you talked about that scenic route, and I remember driving there to the water park, and like you go there, but when you go there in the fall, it's just something special. And we just went through that, a couple months back. But like me, I'm a photographer as well, and it's like being able to see like that scene. It looks like a movie, like I'm thinking of a movie and the houses and the homes and the architecture. But like that road that you're talking about, that 33-mile stretch right there. I mean, the trees are falling. That's beautiful. But you mentioned something interesting. You mentioned sports, and I know you guys are really big into the sports. Like this is like fishing. This is a ton of stuff that you guys are doing.
Well,
out there.
we have.
Yeah.
When I started in November of 2020, we didn't have a sports tourism mission. It was in our mission, but we weren't facilitating any development, didn't have a staff person dedicated. So we went out, hired a director of sports tourism and sales, and we really went after tournaments. We were fortunate enough to partner with Madison County government and receive a pretty large ARPA grant that helped us go out and set a new strategic plan for sports tourism. Working within Madison County, and that's where a majority of our facilities are at. But really going after and creating new opportunities for tournaments to come to the region. Youth sports, youth sports in America last year was a $50 billion industry. $50 billion.
Wow.
And we are centrally located. We're minutes from an international airport, Lambert. We're centrally located on the interstate system. We have Amtrak service to Alton. And so we weren't working together collectively in the county. And now we've got everybody working together. We're focused really on not only traditional sports, but fishing and utilizing the Mississippi River. We have some of the best catfishing in America right on the Mississippi River, right in Alton. So we have 5 different catfish tournaments now that call Alton home or a stop in Alton. We're also utilizing our outdoor and nature-based tourism assets, from kayaking and canoeing to archery to different running events. We are very close to bringing a big national tournament to the area that we'll be announcing in the next couple of months. We're hosting everything from Mud Girl runs to Tough Mudder. People want to be in the marketplace, and we're really excited about it. We still need to work on some facility development. We're focused heavily right now on an indoor 8 to 10 hard court facility, but working with everybody, Edwardsville, Collinsville, Alton, Godfrey, Grafton, you name it. Sports is a big business.
Yeah.
And, when people travel for a youth sports event, mom and dad, grandma, grandpa, aunts, uncles all travel with. And that means more heads in beds, as I like to say, and butts in seats. Yeah. So it produces a lot of tax revenue for our local communities.
No, that's true. I mean, I grew up playing travel baseball, and we would go everywhere. And it's like, the amount of money that these families spend in these hotels, and then we're going out to eat every night, and we're supporting.
And we have some great golf courses too. I forgot to mention, we have one of the very few Arnold Palmer design courses in the Midwest.
I didn't know that.
And that's awesome. In Alton at Spencer T. Olin.
Okay.
And I mean, it's amazing and so inexpensive when you think about green fees and or being able to join anywhere. And so utilizing the assets we have from an outdoor perspective, but then building an indoor facility is critical for our growth. And so it's all about economic development in terms of tourism. Yeah. Last year there was over $825 million spent in our 6-county region, over $45 million in local taxes generated. So every time I go talk about our services to a community, I say, if you didn't have visitor spending happening and those taxes, how would you replace that revenue? Yeah. And those taxes that are being generated, visitors come in, they shop, they eat, they drink, they stay, and then they leave. Yeah. And us as residents get to benefit from that. And it really is economic development at its finest. And it's growing. And we've seen an increase year over year since the pandemic. And 2019 was a record-breaking year for visitor spending and visitor growth to the region. We've surpassed that by 20% today. That's
incredible. Yeah. And you guys mentioned within the 50-mile radius, but you guys got people traveling from all over. But a big market is people that can drive there, though.
Well, we're a big road trip destination. Yeah. During the pandemic, we did okay because people were coming to Grafton. We have 2 public marinas. They were getting out on the river. They were going to Pierre Marquette State Park. Pierre Marquette State Park in Grafton's the largest and oldest state park in Illinois. But through 2020-22, over 3 million visitors were visiting Pierre Marquette State Park. So a lot of people were discovering us for the first time. Then when they could socially get together socially, they were traveling. So we turned our advertising efforts to a 3 to 5 mile radius. Yeah. Drive time. So we're doing a lot of advertising in Chicago, Indianapolis, obviously here in St. Louis, Kansas City, Paducah, Kentucky, the Quad Cities. But our biggest market driver is the Quad Cities, Central Illinois, St. Louis, and Chicago.
Okay. So those car rides, those 3 to 5 hours,
3 to 5
weekend trips,
absolutely.
You know, people coming out for the wineries, and you mentioned events though. You guys, so with what GRR, what you guys are doing is you're also assisting with all these events and organizing these community events. I know you got a big one that started in December, the Bald Eagles, right?
So our Eagle Ice Festival was in January, early January 6th, and that really kicked off our Eagle season. So usually late December through early March, we have more wintering American bald eagles than any other place in North America. And the reason for that is that we have one of the most sophisticated, state-of-the-art locks and dam system, and that's the Melvin Price Lock and Dam there in East Alton, where the National Great Rivers Museum is. And that ice churns and breaks it up. And you'll see eagles out floating down the Mississippi River on an ice patch. And they, you know, the American bald eagle is not it's a lazy bird a bit. So when it's cold up north, it'll fly far enough south, and they'll winter in our area, and they'll fish and eat in our area. And so we celebrate that, and that's kind of our shoulder season business. So from late December to March, we conduct personal shuttle tours, private Eagle shuttle tours, the National Great Rivers Museum, the Lewis and Clark Confluence Tower, the Audubon Center at Riverlands over in Missouri, all celebrate wintering birds, eagles, Treehouse Wildlife and Center and Dow. All of them celebrate that through those months. And it's a way for our businesses, our lodging partners, and hotels to stay afloat. Because, you know, from May to November, we're booked. We could use some midweek business, but Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's busy. And so the bald eagle really helps us shoulder those difficult months. Oh,
people come from all over,
everywhere to stay and look at a bald eagle. And you may not see one, but I will say this. Yesterday, I was driving around and could see bald eagles. And it's amazing. You drive up and down the Great River Road. You mentioned fall foliage. You know, fall's a wonderful time, but any time of the year driving north and south along the Great River Road. And now you can see eagles. It's pretty spectacular.
Yeah, that's incredible. And then another thing I was reading about, which I thought was super interesting, is the solar eclipse that's coming up in April. So that's not going to happen for another 20 years, I don't think, after that. I mean,
the last one that took place was 2017, I believe. And this is the next one. I think it's going to be another 20 or 30 years. So April 8th, our region will be 90% in totality for the eclipse. So we're doing a big event on April 8th in Collinsville at the Old Herald Brewery and Distillery, and right next door they have an outdoor music venue called Herald Square. And we're going to have all sorts of events that day: live music, partnering businesses. We'll have the protective wear. We will have different acts and entertainment. We've got a fire blower. Old Herald's going to do a solar shanty beer.
Nice.
And then they're partnering with another brewery to do some sort of whiskey, some whiskey. So we're going to have all sorts of things. Businesses in Collinsville. There's all sorts of ways that you can participate. It'll be on April 8th. That's a Monday. It's not a good day of the week, but I can't control when the solar eclipse is going to happen.
There's nothing.
Nothing's going on that day.
There's no
so
excuse.
I think the eclipse happens around the noon hour.
I remember it in 2017. I do remember it because I left work on my lunch break and I was like trying to go watch it somewhere.
I have a funny story about 20. I was the state tourism director then, and we were at the epicenter, which was in McCanda, Illinois, and SIU Carbondale, and I was in the middle of the field at the football Saluki Stadium when it all went down. And it was pretty cool. The whole football stadium was packed with people. And
it's a pretty magical moment.
It is something to experience, that's for sure, once in a lifetime.
That's crazy.
Or once in a moment, at least.
Yeah, once in a long time. You know, it only comes around so often. But yeah, I think it's interesting what you guys have going on because you're so unique to the St. Louis area. Like I live in South City, and you know we're not a big tourism area, but we have a lot of local business. So tell us about you know what the local business is and what you guys combined mean to that area and what really, because there is people that do live there.
Oh,
You know?
absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, what I think's unique about the visitor economy is that, we create new product and opportunity for visitors to enjoy, but then we as residents and citizens get to enjoy that when they're not around. And so we have great public parks. We have wonderful, unique restaurants. You said it earlier.
Yeah.
Our small business community is really the backbone of our hospitality industry. We have everything from craft distilleries and breweries to wineries, unique, great food scene. Edwardsville has an exploding food scene. The city of Wood River is making a big comeback. They have some great new restaurants, a cool new bagel shop, and more to come.
Yeah.
So, people come to us for a multitude of reasons. It's either our historic sites throughout the region, traveling Route 66 or the Great River Road and experiencing those unique sites and attractions, our fall foliage, our outdoor adventure. I mean, you can literally get in a kayak and be on the Mississippi River in multiple points within our area. And so, a lot of our communities do rely on visitors. Our small business community can't fully thrive on just locals. So it's important that we're always telling that story through different events. We have a craft beer festival. We do the Eagle season activities.
Yeah.
We focus on our food scene through restaurant weeks and all sorts of different things. But, it is an interesting job because trying to facilitate 39 communities, 6 counties, and thousands of different points to see and visit. I'm not the only person at the office. I mean, they put me out in front to do interviews like with you and other things. But we have 8 employees behind the scenes that really are the lifeblood of our industry and our office. And then we also manage 3 visitor center experiences. So we have the Alton Visitor Center in downtown Alton across from the Argosy Casino. We have the Lewis and Clark Visitor Center and Experience at the Confluence Tower in Hartford. Okay. And then our newest is the West End Service Station in Edwardsville, which is a new Route 66 Visitor Center and Interpretive Center where we were able to get funding from the state, and we provided a grant to the city of Edwardsville to save this old gas station that had been turned into a dentist office and then was for sale. And we got the city $500,000 from the state to renovate that and turn it into a place where we could tell the history of Route 66 in Edwardsville.
Yeah. What better way than a gas station, too?
What better way than a unique gas station? So we're servicing visitors who walk in the door who are traveling that West End Service Station. Has had visitors from 12 countries and 32 states, and we've only been open since June.
Okay. Wow.
Pretty remarkable.
No, that is incredible. And I know you guys got some cruise ship action going out there as well.
We do. So Alton, the Port of Alton, is home to 3 cruise ships. So we hosted 48 stops last year, and we're scheduled to host, I think, 50 stops this year. And we have cruise ships from American Queen Voyages, American Cruise Lines, and Viking. Viking started cruising the Mississippi last year. You usually see those Viking commercials where they're somewhere in Europe or cruising a canal, but now they're cruising the Mississippi. Yeah, that's awesome. So thousands of people are traveling through Alton on an annual basis. And it's been great for our economy because when those visitors come off the cruise ship, we take them over to Lewis and Clark or Cahokia Mounds, or we take them up the River Road.
Like an excursion
so
list
we
of
do
people
we produce various afternoon tours or full day tours. So we have tour guides and docents that hop on their buses and take them all over our region. And so that's just another selling point because when those cruise ships come in, they see the great historic town of Alton, and they see those limestone bluffs along the River Road, and they love it. And it's something unique, and it's a major economic engine. I mean, we had a study done in 22 that those cruise ships back then contributed over a $6 million economic impact for our region. And so and those travelers are flying into St. Louis and from all over the country and coming over and hopping on a boat.
That's such a unique spot. Like I just went on a cruise with our family. It was like a big family trip, and it's just crazy. Like where you port, where you go. It's like there's so many different cruises. It's not just tropical. It's not. Some of it's sightseeing. Some of it's and all the things that you guys have going on there.
Well, I would have never thought cruising the Mississippi River was a big deal, but it is. And typically it's a 7-day. They usually start in New Orleans. They usually use the St. Louis area / Alton as a turning point for a 7-day, or you go directly, keep going north to Minneapolis, St. Paul on a 14-day.
Wow.
And most cruise ship lines are booked through 25 and already offering 26 cruise dates. So it's not going anywhere.
It's not going anywhere.
And, when those cruise ships stop in Alton, you don't see this, but we have a lot of small businesses that are providing food service, providing cleaning, security, garbage removal, all these sorts of things. So not only is our small businesses that are on Broadway Street or State and 3rd Street in Alton benefiting, it's those other service industry businesses that are benefiting as well.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. It's nice when you think about it that way, and really like what you guys are doing is just activating these communities and really opening up opportunities. And you have an obligation to put on for those. Like you said, you have a team of 8 people, but when you're thinking about that, I mean, the work that you guys are doing, you're small but mighty in the work that you're doing.
We hear that a lot
because when you said 8 people, I was like, oh my gosh, like we almost have 8 people. You guys are doing a lot more stuff than us. It seems like.
I don't know how we do it. I mean, we obviously have a lot of great agency partners from creative. Patton and Company is our public relations agency of record, and then Shift Agency does a lot of our video work and our photography work. So we couldn't do it without those agency partners backing us up and supporting us day in and day out. But we're really driving. I call us almost like an economic development agency. We're utilizing our tourism assets as a way for our communities and small business community to make money. Yeah, and that's the bottom line. I've been here 3 years, and when I leave, if they kick me out the door someday, I want to leave it in a much better place than than before I got here. So
no, I agree with that. And you talked about Edwardsville. I've been noticing the it's been blowing up over there. I mean, a lot of like people that we visit in our neighborhood are now not moving their businesses, but opening up locations over there, which I thought was awesome. Being by universities is also great. You want to give those kids a reason to go to school there.
Well, in Southern Illinois University at Edwardsville, it's a tourism partner of ours because obviously students from all over the world attend school there, and their parents and family come visit. Yeah. And those are then our basic ambassadors into those other communities they go back home to say, hey, look, we had a great time here. And, we have a great location because just minutes is St. Louis, the metropolitan area. And then just on the other side is a rural area filled with mom and pop shops, agritourism, unique history along Route 66 and the Great River Road.
No, I mean, I agree with you. And with us being an STL bucket list, it's really unique because we like to highlight these places, but we have to know about those places first. And you guys, like your website, all these resources that you guys have. But I want to learn a little bit more about your bucket list because you're not from this area.
No, I'm not.
So, when you're, I don't want you to leave anybody out, but like, let's go through a day in the life of like, if you're off work, it's Saturday. What is on your Great Rivers and Routes bucket list? What's a day like? Where are you starting? Where are you going to breakfast? Where are you staying? Go through a day. And you don't feel like you have to leave anybody out. I know.
Oh
it's
no,
tough.
I know it's
tough for
tough,
people.
Well, it is tough because there's so many unique things to see and do. But I would say, I'm going to just keep it along the Great River Road. Okay. Because I would just start in Alton, in a place that I love, and my staff's at it more than me every day, but on weekends, on a Saturday, it's Post Commons coffee shop in Alton. It's an old 1800s post office. It's turned into a coffee shop. They roast their own beans. Idle Roasting Company is the roasting company, but then Post Commons, and it's a great locally owned coffee shop with amazing coffee, but incredible food and great brunch specials. Yeah. So that's a first stop. And then, if I'm in the summer months, in the fall, the Alton Farmers Market run by Alton Main Street has up to 150 vendors at any given time. Wow. One of the largest, I think, farmers markets in our area and probably in Southwest Illinois. And, you get to meet a lot of, hopefully, future entrepreneurs who want to open brick and mortar locations in our area. And then Old Bakery Beer, we mentioned it earlier, Old Bakery Beer Company. been in business for 7 years, make really great beer.
Yeah, they do.
And you know what? They have incredible food.
Mhm.
I mean, I think their smoked chicken wings are the best.
I heard about their food. My
Oh.
team went out there, and I was like, "Oh, it's a brewery." And sometimes when you go to breweries, but I'm like, their food. They said
Oh.
they take pride in their food.
Their
over there.
food is amazing. And I'm not saying this, but the co-owner, Lauren Patton, used to be the chair of my board, so she's the past chair of my board. But they have, I would highly suggest the chicken wings.
Okay.
Amazing.
Okay.
And any beer.
Yeah.
They're great. And then I just hit the River Road.
Mhm.
I like to hang out in Grafton.
Mhm.
The loading dock is a must stop. I recommend one of the slushy drinks.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I love their fish and chips and their dock salsa.
So you're eating a lot.
So
You've already
I'm-
ate 3
so
times
you
today.
can probably tell.
You've already
You
ate
can
fish
probably
and chips,
tell that I'm a
brunch.
foodie.
Yes.
I
yes.
like to travel. My husband and I travel for food and drink. That's
Yeah.
all we care about.
Yeah. Hey, that's all that matters.
And
Sometimes.
and then we go up to we take the Sky Tour up to Aries and
Eat more.
Yeah, they have something, and I don't know what it's gonna if they listen to this, but they have this cheese ball thing.
Yeah.
It's I swear it's got fireball or it's spicy.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. And they have a wine list that's out of control. Over 60, I think, wines on the list. You take in those great views. And then I love that coaster.
Mhm.
And it's pretty cool because you get on the coaster. It's 3,000 feet down
Mhm.
under the tree canopy. So you're in the woods.
Mhm.
And then it's gravity fed. So it takes you right back up to the top. So you're never at the bottom.
Mhm.
And then we like to end our day kind of at Pierre Marquette State Park. Sitting in the lodge, the great room, or taking a walk or a hike.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, I mean, I like to travel for food and drink, and that's probably my ideal day in the region.
That's so interesting because Lauren was on about a month or 2 ago, and she mentioned a lot of the same spots.
Oh, she did?
Post Commons, like so. You guys probably, but I think that's what we do too. Is like where are we eating, and then what are we doing in between? And then I love that you mentioned the parks. You got to walk a little bit. You got to walk all that
Gotta
food
get
and
some
drink off there.
exercise, right?
You had a slushy drink, you had brunch. You had mimosas or a bloody.
Yeah, or
You
you
know?
could pick up a bike and ride the River Road, or ride, something I didn't mention too. And I'm not a big bike rider, but a lot is the 135 dedicated miles of bike trail system we have in Madison County through Madison County Transit. I mean, it's nationally recognized, and people from St. Louis and all over travel and ride their bikes. But do some hiking and maybe kayak and ride a bike. That's what I should probably do within those food stops.
Yeah, you got a lot of food and drink. Sober up a little bit, and get it going. But no, I think that that's what I like when the people that are listening is you hear those things. It's like make a day trip out of it, but go stay somewhere.
Right.
Go get. There's so many boutique hotels and boutique. Are they Airbnbs? There's so many.
Well,
different
I'd call
things.
them Airbnbs, but two of my favorite,
Yeah.
if I can.
Yeah.
The Alton Cracker Factory in downtown Alton on Broadway. Great overnight accommodations. It literally used to be a cracker. They made crackers in the 1800s. And if you go into the basement, you can still see the archways of where the stoves were.
Okay.
Or the fire where they made crackers. Or the Urban Collective Boutique Hotel, brand new boutique hotel in downtown Edwardsville. But you can't beat Pierre Marquette State Park Lodge or Aries Resort. We've got a little bit of everything for everybody. So
For like you said, for anybody, any age group, because when we would go there, in our 20s, there's so much for us. But then you have people in their 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s going there for bald eagles or whatever.
Well, the party buses. There are many of them in the summer and fall in Grafton.
So like bachelorette trips.
Oh, big time, and they're all renting
bachelor
these.
trips
They're
too.
all renting these big houses in Grafton.
Yeah.
There's tons of vacation rental properties. There's more vacation rental properties than there are hotel rooms in Grafton. And I get calls all the time.
Yeah.
Do you know a party bus company? And we don't have many of them in our area, but there's tons in St. Louis. So.
Yeah, and they'll take you out.
Oh yeah, and
They'll
they're
take you
lined
wherever.
up at the loading dock or
Yeah.
you name it.
The
They're
loading
everywhere.
dock is crazy. I mean, there's a party over there.
And they do it right. Family-owned business.
Yeah.
I mean, they have great drinks,
They're
great
awesome.
food, live music on the weekends.
Yeah.
I mean, right now through, I think the end of February, they've got the ice skating rink.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, they've had ice skating since November,
Mm-hmm.
and they do that. They turn the motor works or the boat works building, flea markets on the weekends in the summer and fall. Last weekend of each month, but in the winter season, it's ice skating. They have bars it set up inside, s'mores kits for the kids, all sorts of fun things.
One idea that I have is the loading dock is such a, like, that family, come on out to St. Louis, put one on the river by the arch. I mean, how crazy would that be to have a loading dock by the arch? So I'm just putting that in the air.
I would call on all these unique St. Louis businesses to come on over to my side of the river and open up businesses.
Hey, both. Hey, we'll trade.
Let's trade.
You give us loading dock, and then we'll give you, who do you want?
I don't know if I can get rid of loading dock.
No, but you keep loading dock.
Do a loading dock too. Well, I'd like to have a loading dock too in Alton on the riverfront.
Yeah.
We don't have a restaurant or anything like that on the riverfront.
Yeah.
I mean, we have the casino.
Yeah.
But we don't have like a floating bar or barge. I think that would be cool.
Anything on the water. That's where we want to be. We want to be on the water.
It's so cool.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. And other businesses out there, like big household names, you got Raging Rivers over there. I mean, I feel like everybody in St. Louis growing up in St. Louis, you've been there.
The only water park on the Mississippi River in the country.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I saw that you guys been doing some events out there. Like it's been awesome. And that was my first experience over there. And then, Eckert's, big names like Eckert's, who have just been all over, their products. And I mean, they bring out a lot of visitors as well.
In the summer and fall, it's crazy. And, right next door to Eckert's is the Grafton Winery at the Vineyards.
Yeah,
and they have, a lot of people host their weddings there, but go in and they've got great food and snacks and good wine, craft beer on tap. They do craft cocktails now too. So I'm telling you, if people come to me and say, well, there's nothing to do around here, there's a lot to do around here. And if you're not following the right people or plugged in, because there is so much to see and do. Yeah. Even in the winter months. You name it, we've got it.
Yeah, one of the cool things that when our team went out there, it was that haunted tour that you guys were doing. I mean, that was like, I'm not into that stuff, guys, but like my team said they were pretty scared. They said it was real.
Well, I'm
not a big ghost hunting guy. But.
I'm not either, but a lot of people come for it. And, Alton has been known as the most haunted small town in North America by numerous national, international sources, media outlets. And, we have 4 tour operators that sell nothing but haunted. And, most people come in October, but we have haunted tours all throughout the year. And a lot of people on a given Saturday evening, you'll see a couple different tours happening. Yeah. And so, check it out because it's pretty fascinating.
That's awesome. So I want to leave with one more thing is what would you tell our listeners? We got 160,000 followers now. They're not all listening right now, but there's a couple thousand people are probably listening right now as we're talking. What would you tell our followers and our community that's based out of St. Louis? Like, what would you tell them on why they should come out here more often?
Well, don't be afraid to cross the river. There's something pretty unique across the river, and that's still a challenge. Yeah. But, we're the only place in North America where Route 66 and the Great River Road connect, and those are some pretty amazing, memorable road trips. And we have all that just waiting for you across the river.
Yeah. Come see us. And see us. Where can we find you more about you guys? Got your website, socials, and stuff?
Our website, www.riversandroutes.com. We have a new trip planning tool on our website that you can download. It's an app. You can go to, for Android users or iPhone users, go to the App Store and search Great Rivers and Routes, and you'll find it. I download that. We have some unique tours on there that can guide you around the region. Then we have our social media channels. We're on Facebook and Instagram at Rivers and Routes.
Nice. Well, Cory, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you for traveling out here to get on the podcast. But we're going to do a lot of promo and posts. I mean, you guys got so much going on, and I'm going to go check out them bald eagles. I need to see something. And then me and you we'll go to brunch. And we'll go to the brewery.
Let's do it.
And then we'll go to it. You got a nightclub? We'll go to a nightclub?
Sure. We got a nightclub. Absolutely. I go to bed early.
I know.
After all that eating and drinking.
Yeah, I figured. You're a day drinking guy.
I'm a day drinking guy.
Okay.
I'm too old to drink at the night time. But, you come over, you've got to visit our Alton Visitor Center. Yeah. And you got to get you an eagle hat.
Okay.
It's the most popular thing. It's literally an eagle perched on your head, and the wings are the strap.
And people rock those, and
I've never seen anything like it. So we're stocked up for eagle season. We're not sold out yet.
Yeah, we're there. Hey, we're there. But no, I appreciate your time, though. Really,
absolutely. Thank you.
I'm glad that I could learn a little bit more about what you guys going, and I'm so excited to see what 2024 brings for you guys. So
thank you so much.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks again for tuning in to the STL Bucket List Show. This podcast is presented by Bankhead and Firth Ortho. Bankhead and Firth is family-friendly and family-focused right here in St. Louis. They just celebrated their 50-year anniversary, and they have 5 locations that are all near you right here in St. Louis. Head over to their website at bankheadandfirthortho.com.
Today, they rep St. Louis, yeah. They rep St. Louis. They rep St. Louis.